This is example 2 in our lesson on solving equations with rational exponents. And we'll start by isolating the term with a rational exponent, which is our first step. And what I notice is on the left-hand side of my equation, the term with the rational exponent is already isolated. I'm not multiplying this term by anything, dividing it by anything, adding or subtracting anything. So I really don't need to do step 1. Step 2 would be to raise both sides to the reciprocal power. And in this case, that's going to be squaring both sides. And you'll notice that when I do that, I'm going to end up with a quadratic. Right here on this side, when I square 2x, I get 4x squared. On the left, I have 11x plus 3. And the reason that I have that is because 1/2 to the 2 over 1 power is the first power. So my exponent goes away there. To solve this quadratic, I'm going to want to get everything over to the right side, set my quadratic equal to 0, and find the roots. So I have 0 on the left, and on the right I have 4x squared minus 11x minus 3. Now I'm going to factor, and I'm looking for factors of negative 12 that add to negative 11. 4x squared minus 12x plus x minus 3 will do. And I'm going to group and factor out a GCF. And it looks like this, oops, that should be a minus. It looks like this is going to be my factorization. And let's bring this down all along. So I'm still in the step of our method where I'm solving for x. I need to set each one of these terms equal to 0. And I find that x is equal to 3, and here I get x is equal to negative 1/4. So my last, but maybe one of my most important steps, is to go ahead and check my answer. So the first answer I'm going to check is the 3. I go back to the original equation. Always when you do your checks, go back to the original equation. So I have 11 times 3 plus 3 to the 1/2 power is equal to 2 times 3. 11 times 3 is 33. I add 3 and get 36 to the 1/2 power is 6. And we can see that this is just the square root of 36. So we have a true statement. So I know that x is equal to 3 is one of my solutions. Now I need to check the negative 1/4. So again, I go back to my original equation. 11 times negative 1/4 plus 3 to the 1/2 power is equal to 2 times negative 1/4. Oops, let me scoot this over so you can see. So all I did in this step was I substituted negative 1/4 for x in my original equation. And this ends up being negative 11/4. So I know in order to combine these terms, I'm going to have to get a common denominator here. So 3 can be written as 12 over 4. And then 2 times negative 1/4 is just negative 1/2. So this, and we have our power here, our rational exponent. So this, if I add, ends up being 1/4 to the 1/2 power equals negative 1/2. And this is like saying the square root of 1/4, remember? So I can rewrite that as the square root of 1/4. And what I notice is the square root of 1/4 is 1/2. But on the right-hand side of this equation, what I have is negative 1/2. So this is not a true statement. So I would reject the answer of negative 1/4. And I would write simply x is equal to -3. That's not one of my answers.